Greetings folks, welcome back to the channel, and today's tip is brought courtesy of Red Mary. I'll drop a link to his channel down in the video description if you want to check that out. And what we're going to be doing today is actually building up Red 13's limit break multiple times. And the reason we want to do this is we got hold of the Cosmo Memory in the previous episode when we defeated Lost Number, and before we can teach that to Red 13, he first needs to learn all his other limit breaks, and for me that means learning his second level 3 limit break, Earth Rave. Now the best way to do this, obviously if you're playing on PS4, is to just go ahead and use the battle enhancement toggle, which constantly means that your limit break gauges are forever filled, so you can just spam them as many times as you want. And just to confirm, I believe it's 6 times that Red 13's first level 3 limit break needs to be cast in order to learn his second. So like I say, you can just go ahead and use that little battle enhancement trick if you want to do this quickly. However, if you don't want to use that, or if you're not playing a version of the game that comes with battle enhancements, then this is a great alternative. And what you want to do is find this enemy that's in between Nibelheim the town and Mount Nibel, the entrance to the dungeon. And this enemy is known as a Valron. It's that kind of like flying purpley dragony thing. To me it sort of looks like a xenomorph from Aliens, but you can't miss it when you see it, and they are fairly common. And what we're doing is using one of that enemy's abilities for our own purposes. Now the ability in question is called Tail Kick, and what it does is basically it just does damage to the person that it hits, but it actually does quite a bit of damage, and it fills the limit gauge quite substantially. So what I'm going to recommend is just go ahead and manipulate the enemy itself. That way you have complete control over the tail kick ability, and you can just keep using it on the same party member that you're trying to build up the limit gauge for. And then go ahead and stick a hyper onto the party member that you want to level up limits for. Now that last thing is obviously quite optional, but I recommend it since it just makes the whole process a little bit faster. Now incidentally, you don't have to simply restrict this method for Red 13, he just happens to be the character I'm doing right now because we have his level 4 limit ready to go. However, you can do this on any party member that you want to level limits for. In fact, Red 13's kind of annoying because every time I deplete his limit gauge, he ends up one-shotting the enemy, whereas a lot of other limits in the game for other party members are either defensive in nature or just don't do any damage, so you can just pretty much keep spamming them throughout the single encounter, building up their limit gauge and then repeating the process, pretty much getting all of the casts you need of that particular limit in a single battle. That's not the case with Red 13. I do need to encounter this enemy, the Valron, a few times, but as you can see, it's a very quick process of boosting his limit break, and this is his level 3 limit, which is one of the slower limits, one of the slower gauges at building up. Obviously level 4 is the slowest. But yeah, just keep at it guys, and I do end up learning the Cosmo Memory at this point, after these few battles, which I've got to be honest with you, is actually one of the more lackluster level 4 limit breaks. In my opinion, Square were really not concentrating or not focused on balancing the level 4 limits, as a lot of them, including Red 13's, only attack a single time per cast, which is kind of annoying when some of the level 3s attack multiple times every time they're used, which means they can do a lot more damage. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We are going to be getting them all regardless. Anyway folks, I hope the video has helped you, and let me know if you managed to build up any party members' limit breaks and learn level 4 limits at this stage in the game. I mean, we're only on disc 1, so we don't have many available right now. But have a wonderful day folks, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.